All right, welcome to KB Talks Podcast, where we're highlighting special individuals in the city of Nashville who are doing their own thing, got their own business going. And today we got Van Leer, who's a great artist in Nashville doing big things. So we're here to spotlight his life, his upbringing, what gave him the type of nurture he is to do what he has to do right now in art. So we're going to focus on him, get his life story. Like I said, welcome to KB Talks Podcast. All right, Van Leer, man, where you from?
What's up? I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
All right. Give us your whole upbringing, man. Where you when you went to school at, and what the things you used to do. I know you went to East Lit or whatnot, and so we'll get to that or whatnot. So, how was your upbringing or whatnot?
Yeah, so from Nashville, my folks, they from Kentucky, but me and my sister was born here. Went to East Literature Magnet. Now it's East Nashville. Played football, basketball. I drew. A little of my artwork, it really started my whole life because my dad, he's in the arts. My sister's in the arts. My mom's a school teacher, okay. But that helps like with my organization side, right. And my smart side. But yeah, my dad, so he does music, piano, all the instruments, and theater. My sister, she does painting, drawing, music. So it's really just been in my household, creative household. So I had drawing books when I was little, asking for sketchbooks. I was just drawing images, and then I really just pushed it my whole life and just kind of turned into a career. So
would you say you always had drawing in your picture in life growing up, and you say your pops is pretty much your influence as far as that?
Yeah, my dad, he has a picture on the wall that he drew of my mom when he was in like college or whatever. So okay. That's probably part of the inspiration for the portraits, and he also does theater of black individuals, of historic figures. And that's probably also one of my influences on who I draw.
Gotcha. Would you say did football and basketball or sports period come in between? Did it kind of like, did you want to take on sports more than drawing, or kind of like just leveled out while you was in high school?
High school, I was all about sports. Right. I drew, I had art class, but I was just in class at that point, and it was just a hobby. But sports was like all I did. Football practice, basketball practice. Did a little track in middle school, but I really wanted to go G1 football. I wanted to go to the league. Like that's all I thought about was just football.
Yeah, man, because I mean, you kind of like a local sports star. I remember when I met you, they was like, man, Van, he played linebacker. He had this many tackles. I'm like, man, he could ball. So when I saw you doing the art thing, it kind of like caught a lot of people, I guess, that really didn't know you off guard. So, I mean, he does this on the side because I just, knew you as an athlete. But that's pretty good, man. So I guess sports was your main thing we got to high school because you saw you could actually pursue it. So what kind of changed you from the sports aspect to kind of like, okay, let me focus on something I've been doing my whole life and I'm familiar with in arts?
When I got to college, I realized that it could be a career, and that was my God-given talent. So I didn't want to waste that because, when people don't use their talents, they kind of disappear. Right. So I just really honed in on it and just started really pushing it. I had all the art classes, making us draw larger, making us do this and that. And so that's really just focusing on my career, focusing on art as a business. So I balanced that with my degree, which was graphic design and artwork. So those are two things that I focused in on. Football, I walked on to TSU, played a couple years, and then kind of just went more into my career field.
Gotcha. What was that one person that you would say that kind of like you were able to go to as far as the art and graphic design or whatnot that was able to enhance what you already had growing up? Was that one person that you looked to for advice as far as arts?
One person, it's really a lot of people who influence, who help me out, mentor, this and that. But I will say my dad. So one little thing that we always do when I do a portrait, I always get him to critique it at the end. If I feel something's off about it or something, and he just has that eye, so he'll be able to look at it back and forth and be like,
he missing this and that. Like, push this up.
Fix the nostril, needs to go up a little bit, the eyebrow, blah, 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 this little shadow. And so he's really the one I go to at the end just to kind of clean it up and fix something and have a problem with it.
Okay. Since you've been doing art and been taking it seriously, I know, like I said, you've had a lot of gallery expos in the past or whatnot. Have you had the chance to meet any famous people or people worth mentioning?
Two people I can think of off the top. One, I did one for Vivica Fox. I found out that she was coming to TSU to speak at I think it's called the Women's Amir.
The
event at TSU. And so I was like, somebody gave me the tip that she was coming. I was like, hey, if I do a portrait of her, are we going to be able to get it to her? It was like, we should be able to. So I was like, cool. So I had like 2 days. 2 or 3 days, I was just in my room drawing to get it finished, got it framed. And sure enough, we had up on the stage on the easel up there when she was talking. I went up there with her, took a picture with her. And so I
gave
thought
her the picture?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, she couldn't take it because she was on the flight, but we got it to her. So that was pretty neat. And then another time, Jesse Jackson came, and he's part of my fraternity on Making South 5. And so I found out he was coming in the same scenario. Got to my room, got the drawing, and then we presented it on half of my chapter, Mighty Rosai. Right. And we presented to him. It was him, my chapter, me, Glenda, President Glenda Glover. And so that was also another cool opportunity.
So he was able to knock those out in like 2 days.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days, because I had short notice. So I was like, and it's something that I wanted to do, and I thought it would have been pretty neat.
Have you seen any doors open since you started taking art seriously?
Yeah, a lot. Just last year, I did a portrait for the Buffalo Soldiers. It was a portrait of Lieutenant William McBride. He was an attendee of Tennessee State University, but he's also a Buffalo Soldier and Medal of Honor recipient. And so the lady who commissioned me to do it, she got invited to speak at a Buffalo Soldier convention, motorcycle club convention. And sure enough, they invited me out there as well. Right. And that's where I unveiled the portrait out there. And so that was a really good opportunity. I got to meet the president of the club, the founder of the club, and all this. And so that's the first time I got to travel for my artwork. That was in North Carolina. Got to catch a flight and all this. So,
man, I mean, so you really didn't make any mistakes. Cause I see, like you said, man, when you got to college, after you played sports in high school, when you got to college, you started taking it seriously. So I mean, that goes to show you, man, if you got like a good thing going in the talent and you start enhancing, believing in it, man, these things will start opening up. So a lot of people can't say they met Vivica Fox, gave a picture of Jesse Jackson, did something for the Buffalo Soldiers. Did you see a lot of things in your life change when you went from this sports to everyday life towards art? Did you see things start to change when you start focusing on like the talent you already had and start enhancing it?
I started to notice of a lack of blacks in the community that are really reaching that level that we want to reach to. All right. And so that's one of my goals is to, as I grow in my career, I want to help lift up those who also want to reach in that level. So I think that's something that I'll be able to help once I get to have a graphic design firm or my art studio, whatever opportunities I'm able to get, I'll be able to help those below me, or not even below me, just help those who are also trying to get to that level and bring those up.
Ways and where to go.
Because a lot of us don't have that guide that we need, or don't have that in our community. And so I think that's really important and something I want to help out with.